We are doing a one-shot instead of our usually scheduled Red Hand of Doom, and we are playing the
Secrets of Sokol Keep.
Secrets of Sokol Keep. Thank you. Before we begin, in the doobly-doo down below, please check out a link to our Extra Life page, as well as the Heroes Wanted Discord and sister shows. But without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome, everyone, to our special one-shot, making up for our missing regular characters. Joining me tonight are...
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris. I'm playing Ringo Jor, roguish swashbuckler and the greatest swordsman in all of Tyrell.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tara, and I shall be playing Fiod, the Wood Elf Arcane Archer.
And hello, I'm Lorne. I'm playing Rascal, the Protector Asimar Sun Soul Monk.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'll be playing Nadir, the Bugbear Battle Master, Polar Master.
I'm Stephanie, and I'll be playing Deadshot Maribel Brown, y'all.
And all of you find yourselves, as you so often do, in a tavern. Specifically, you are in the Laughing Goblin. This is a large, dark, old tavern in Flun that has definitely seen better times. The woodwork is worn, the plaster that was once white is now yellowish and crumbling, and the chandeliers and lanterns are all sort of rusted. The furniture around here has, all had heavy use and shows the signs of it. You can see the chairs and tables have been smashed and broken and rebuilt. And you've been sitting here a little while. As soon as you walk in, this very portly gentleman yelled at you to sort of sit anywhere you want and he'll get to you in a minute. Minute passed. Another couple of minutes passed. Eventually you had to flag him down, or the female waitress, who quickly introduced herself as Imizael, told you some stories, and then wandered away without taking your order. But eventually you guys were able to see just the ebb and flow of this place, and were able to track her and Markoth, the portly, obese waiter, who also comes around and offers you cabbage stew and whatever ales are on tap. And, the smell of this cabbage soup comes from the kitchen. It's very strong and overpowering. It's mid-afternoon. There is, the din of the lunch crew and crowd that is going on. There's a half-orc kind of sitting by himself, nursing a large drink. You see a couple of human women in the corner, dressed in black leathers, clearly showing that they are some type of guild members who are probably not up to any sort of good, and laughing and cackling about their previous night. There's a trio of humans that are covered in ink, clearly some kind of professional group that is, trying to share sort of a quiet lunch and drink and glare at some of the other patrons and tables that make too much noise. And you can also see a couple of halfling merchants that are sitting down, and occasionally, you catch snippets of their conversation. They seem to sell ropes and dried food and things like that. So they're down here, selling their wares to the docks. So as you guys are settling in and sitting down, you can give a quick introduction of your characters, please.
Just finished updating it to level 3. All right. Ringo Jor is a man who, despite his token, has far more reddish skin than golden skin. Got a short pair of horns. He likes to wear a wide-brimmed hat. He's got traveling clothes, very fine-looking traveling clothes actually, and he runs his mouth about absolutely everything. He is the greatest lover, the greatest gambler, the greatest swordsman, which he will tell you about constantly. And he is always attempting to bet on things or engage in games of chance. Also, he's very good with a rapier.
Fiod is a typical wood elf, dusky skin, brown hair, hazel eyes. She's relatively quiet around strangers, but like once you get to know her, she has a very bright, bubbly personality, and she is actually just wandering, searching for her lost love.
Rascal's kind of your typical, humanoid, dark hair. His skin has a slight gold tinge to it, but otherwise looks pretty much human. He does, however, have very pronounced shoulder blades.
All right. Nadir is a giant and boisterous bugbear whose personal space seems to go the full 10 feet that his arms can reach around him as he grabs for things, pats people on the back, cajoles, and basically makes a ruckus of anything within 10 feet.
I'm Deadshot Maribel Brown. Y'all making your acquaintance. I'm just here for the fun and the treasure.
I'm just trying to be a better person. My name is Deadshot.
And as all of this is going on around you, eventually Markoth does come up to you and just say, so we got cabbage soup. It's our secret recipe. It comes with baked bread, piece of cheese. Otherwise, we got a salty fish stew or catch of the day with pike. And if you want drinks, I say stick to our light ale, some stout or the strong stuff. Unless you got a taste for the weird, and then we got the claw wine that we got up from Saltmarsh.
I'll have the cabbage stew, please, and one of your fine ales.
Do you have any whiskey or perhaps some bourbon?
Oh yeah, we got some top shelf stuff. It'll do you good. The brown liqueur is something I would recommend.
Yes, the brown liqueur sounds delightful. I think I'll have some of the brown liqueur then, please, and I'll take a little bit of that there, Pike.
Wouldn't mind trying a cabbage stew and an ale as well, please.
All right. What
And,
about you?
I'll have the pike and a round of ale for me and my new friends here, and an extra one for Senior Fancy Pants with his brown liquor.
I'm not
And as you say that, the half orc at the side table is like, "Is a drink for me then too, friend?"
Tell us a tale and the drink's on me.
And he puts down his drink and he says, "Well, like everybody else, I remember wanting to know why the light went out in Sokol Keep out in the harbor. And I know it's because spirits out there knock over the beacon. I mean, legends say that the keep used to be a temple, and the spirits of the dead priests haunt the buried treasure between the walls of the basement of the keep. So I'm telling you, it's a spirit that put out that light."
Spirit puts out my lights most every night.
The man
He just sort of laughs and, oh, he's a good one. And, Morkoth will sort of look over and just say, "Ortal, enough. And he sort of nods at you as if to ask, "You going to get him a drink?"
Oh yeah, I'll use my big ass reach to pull one off the table and hand it all the way over to him.
And he will nod and he will head off and take your orders. And eventually Imazale comes over with your drinks, and, she will happily, sort of hand over everybody's drinks. And, you can hear the rest of the bar has now started sort of chattering and talking all about the keep. And, is it spirits? Are the soldiers there dead? Nobody knows what's happening. And, she begins to say, "Oh, of course, everybody knows that the keep is only bothered because it's got a small bit of money, and, House Sokol owns it, but they don't even do much on it. And if you ask me, it's that ship of spirits that I hear is pirating up and down the coast, attacking the villages on the Moon Sea. They
Who's
might have
saying
done
this
it.
now?
I mean,
Sorry.
this is the waitress. And you hear a couple of the two halflings down at the end of the table pipe in and say, "Oh yeah, we've heard all about that ship that's been raiding all the towns up and down the coast. But we figured, with the keep, we'd be safe in here." And
Pardon me, do spirits haunt the Greater Flan area on a regular basis?
as you ask that, yeah, there's sort of a round of laughter, and the half orc will just say, "Oh yeah, I mean, as old as Flan is, there's more dead under this town than knows what to do with. I'm not surprised that the afterlife kicked some of them back here."
That's very interesting. And then, I'll just sort of nod and toast and drink my brown liqueur.
Yeah, and the waitress will just say, "Nobody really knows, but I bet those two ladies in the corner probably know a little bit more. They are good friends with some of the Black Fist that were stationed at the lighthouse that have seemingly vanished." And then with that, she kind of winks and puts your drinks down, brings out your food. The cabbage soup and the fish are surprisingly good for this type of establishment.
Nom 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 nom.
I'm gonna look at my meal, then look at my party members with a big grin. Do you get it?
Get what?
I really don't.
It's a pike.
Huh?
He's a pole iron master. He's trying to make a joke.
Oh, I get it now. I get it now.
I did think the joke was a little fishy, so
I certainly wouldn't deny a man as prodigious as a good friend here. His choice of joke.
And with that bang, the door is violently thrown open as a half dozen burly dock workers make their way in. They seem quite angry, and from the smell coming off them, also quite drunk this early in the day. And without sparing anybody a glance, they turn and march toward the two mercenary ladies in the corner. "Your friends of the keep are costing us work. Where are they hiding?" bellows one of them to the women at the table. And this woman just sort of leans back in her chair and growls, "Sod off, Thurius." Obviously in no mood for any of this. "Crawl back into the hole you came from before you and your friends get hurt." And, even with that, you can see, some of the dock workers behind are, immediately just start sort of oohing and ooh, ah. And clearly they're in the mood for some sort of fight. And,
can I stand up with my halberd?
You stand up, and as that happens and people sort of turn in your direction, you see one of the women at the table just reaches up, grabs the back of this guy's head and smashes it down into the top of her table. And he sort of staggers back, and as that happens, the rest of these guys just charge in and start upsetting sort of tables and scattering the patrons.
Now,
Let's go. Nothing builds a friendship like a bar brawl.
Now, gentlemen, I can't stand to watch good alcohol go to waste. Can we all just be friends here?
I call the one with the big head.
Couldn't be friends. You mean the one with the big lump on his head?
So, for those that are interested, you can. These guys are just commoners, so it is basically just going to be a quick sort of street brawl. You see, they, no weapons, but they are picking up chairs and just sort of starting to toss everything around.
Coming out swinging with the rolls there.
Damn right.
Yeah, but Ringo's just going to use it to finish everybody's drink at the table.
No, he won't drink ale, remember?
Well, in my first round, my friend, I've drank far worse than the ale at this establishment.
Try the claw wine.
It's all right to be a city boy. It's fine.
I take your pardon, sir. I'm a man of the road.
First up is Fiode with a 28.
Damn.
Well, not 20. What can I do?
Humble brag.
Just a little bit. Yeah, Fio's just gonna, take a quick swig of her ale, walk up to the first sailor, and just be like, "Now that's no way you should be treating a lady," and just crack him in the face. So it'll be
So it's an
yeah.
unarmed attack.
So straight D20 plus strength mod, right?
Yes. That is a hit. These guys are completely unarmored. So it is not a D4. It's just 1 plus your strength mod.
Oh, so I'd be still 2.
Still 2. Yeah, so you crack him across the face, and he's, looks a little surprised as you just walk up and blast him across the jaw. That takes us to Ringo.
All right. Ringo's gonna stand up with a mug of ale in his one hand, and you'll note that he didn't order the ale, so it's somebody's ale. And
I
he's
ordered
just
you
gonna,
an ale.
Oh, well,
It is your ale.
I certainly wouldn't steal an ale, clearly. And yeah, Ringo's just gonna sort of pop over and just sort of stand up and pull out his rapier, sort of dance the tip of the blade forward, and then just pommel strike this guy right off the top of the head.
Oh, yeah, he immediately falls unconscious.
Huh. Couldn't handle his drink then, and I down the ale in one shot and step back. Right into the middle of the room here, sort of daring people forward.
All right. Rascal.
All right, so I'm gonna come up to here, and we're gonna say this guy and this guy here. I want to thematically use my unarmed strike to redirect a blow from each of them into the other.
All right.
So first one,
Hits. Knocks him out.
and bonus action for the second one, takes him down as well.
Indeed.
Unarmed, like completely just trying to knock these guys out, not kill them.
All right. Yeah. And as this happens, these 3 people that were sort of quiet at the table have sort of all backed up, but they immediately have also begun sort of cheering and yelling. And as you do that, they actually, cheer you on. Deadshot.
I'm gonna whip out my short sword and my shield, and I'm gonna dive right in. Non-lethal attacks. Non-lethal. I have.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
as you move forward with your sword and shield, you see a couple of people like, oh, no weapons.
Well, I'm still taking my shield. Don't worry, I'm not gonna stab you.
I did.
Well, you can move forward with both. But yeah, I mean, but you, this is somebody getting up and racing over. So yeah, they're just noticing this, and they're a little uncomfortable.
All right,
Don't
I'll
worry,
put the
I'm
short
not going
sword.
to stab you.
Yeah, I'll put the short sword away and just use my fist. Is unarmed strength or?
It's
Yes.
a strength roll you're proficient with, and it's 1 plus your strength modifier for damage.
All right.
Which means if strength is your dump stat, you will deal 0 damage.
It isn't, but I only have a 1 to my strength.
They're commoners.
Is there a way to okay. So that'd be a D20 plus 3?
Yes, if you have a 1 for strength, yeah. Or a 12 for strength, I should say.
Yep,
14
that
to hit.
hits. Absolutely hits.
4 damage.
2 damage.
2 damage.
Yeah, so you crack him across the head, and he sort of staggers, but he is still on his feet, and he's like, "What's your problem, lady?"
I don't like it when assholes bother strangers.
Well, you're not gonna like this. As he takes a swing at you.
He can try.
Yeah, he drunkenly kind of swings, and it just hits off of your shield, and just like you see, it takes like a few seconds, just as the pain kind of hits.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step off politely to the side.
All right. These two are going to continue going after the women in the corner. One kind of strikes one of them, and she gets up angrily, and swings back at. And the other one is hit, swings wildly. The other one again grabs the head, smacks it against the table, and takes this guy out. And that takes us to Nadir.
We need to move from your stool.
A little bit. I've already stood up, so I'll step up onto the table a few steps. And I'm gonna go for. Looks like the one that's Mary Bell's dealing with she's got that handled, so we'll hit that one. We'll try and make some introductions, as it were.
You're going to have to use your pike to hit him from that far.
I'm gonna use the flat edge of my halberd,
All right.
so non-lethal damage. Just gonna bonk him on the head.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Plus, if that doesn't take him down, I do an extra 2d6 for my bugbear surprise attack.
It does. 4 knocks him out.
Afterwards, if you surprise them.
That was surprising.
And so, Fio, that leaves one of these guys still standing in front of Deadshot.
How's he looking?
Pretty battered. Deadshot got a good crack in on him.
He's bloodied.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Just not even say anything this time, and just walk up and crack him.
That is going to be enough to knock him out. He only had 2 hit points left. So you just silently walk up and smack this drunk guy. And he falls backwards. And at this point, you hear the bartender behind the bar is like, "Oh, stop. Oh. Well, all right. Throw him out." And you see the hefty kind of bartender immediately starts just tossing him outside, not paying any attention to sort of their welfare or anything like that. And these two ladies.
Does this one have a tobacco pouch?
You can certainly, give me a quick investigation check.
It's going to be smokes on him if he does.
Fjord will help throw the men out.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You find a small pouch of chewing tobacco.
Yeah, good enough. I'll take a big wad and then put the pouch back on his person before they throw him out.
Give me a Constitution save.
Smoking kills.
15. Yeah, you stick that big wad in your jaw, and you nearly swallow it first, and then you remember, oh no, gotta spit.
Spittoon, please.
That plug sits nicely. And you ask for the spittoon, and the waitress says, "Yeah, I'll be on its way." And again, never shows up. But the two women in the corner, so you start. The 2 women in the corner come sauntering over and introduce themselves as Kira and Aravel, and ask if they can buy you a pair of drinks, maybe.
Ma'am, I'd be delighted. In fact, I was going to come over and offer you the very same thing. Ringo Jor, world's greatest swordsman. How may I make your acquaintance?
And
yes, is absolutely. doing the whole sleazy gambler thing.
And they chuckle, recognizing, game recognizing game kind of thing, and they chuckle back at you and flirt a little while and just sort of eye you up and say, "Oh, well, yeah, you heading off to make some money at the keep? Then is that what brings adventurers like you into town?"
I was mostly here for the ambiance, but hearing more about this keep does perk my pointed little ears up. What's the actual story around here? These people seem fine in their own superstitious ways, but there must be an actual thing behind this.
And they look at each other, and as the drinks arrive, they sort of sit and grin, and they say, "Well, we know Guard Sergeant Grimm. He's one of the Black Fist who, stays out there. Usually people think that detail is punishment, but he pays to stay on. He's foolhardy, but, owes money to the wrong people at the wrong time kind of a thing. But
I
he
know
made
all about that.
yeah, he made friends with Sokol, the quartermaster in charge of the keep. Sort of a naive young man who, wants to make his name, make that house famous again. And they'll sort of lean in quietly. Grimm mentioned there's a treasure below the keep, and he was close to finding it. Now, we're pretty sure he was telling tales, but... and they'll sort of look around at the other things. With everything you hear about the basement of that place, you never know.
What kind of tales are being told?
Well, tales of treasure and, ghosts and spirits and that kind of thing. Everybody searched that keep for years when it was abandoned, but nobody ever came away with anything. But everybody still believes there's something down there that is worth finding. And Grimm thought he had himself an in. I'd go talk to the Guard Sergeant Hearn at the Black Post down by the docks. He'll give you some more info and probably offer you a little coin to go look after the whatever's happened out there.
Well, little more coins always welcome in my life. It comes and goes, but
Mostly
I think the morning she'll see us heading out there. Now, I do believe I was rather enjoying your company.
Well, you come back with some money, maybe you can enjoy it a little later. But if you'll excuse us, we got some business to take care of.
Oh, don't let me keep it, ladies, and I'll be seeing you around.
All right. And with that, I'll speed things along a little bit. You guys go down to the Black Fist guard post. You are introduced to Guard Sergeant Hearn. He's an older man, obviously just sort of riding out the last few years of his job. And he lets you know that the Guard Sergeant, Grimm, is in command of the contingent of 6 Black Fist guards at the keep. He says Grimm is lazy, but for some reason has routinely volunteered for duty at the keep. And he says that ensuring that the beacon was lit was House Sokol's job, not the Black Fist. The Black Fist were just there to make sure they were safe to get it done. And, he says, the keep was run by House Sokol. Their admin office is just a couple of doors down, and says that you should drop his name to the ferryman, Karst, and keep him apprised of any developments, and that'll help you get across.
Oh, thank you, sir. And sorry, there's 6 Black Fist. You did cut out there for a second there, Patrick.
Sorry. There are 6 Black Fist guards, and they haven't been heard from in a couple of days. And he says he would certainly be willing to offer you some coin if you want to head out there and check. The rest of his men are spread a little thin, hunting down rumors of this ghost ship that is pillaging the coastline.
Well, I don't see the harm in having a little look-see and looking for some wayward soldiers. Probably doing the AWOL thing. You know how it is.
And he just says, maybe. There's nowhere to go, and, it's punishment usually to be sent out there, so we'll see how they do. But with that, you guys can head down to meet the ferryman Karst, who's this bitter elderly fellow who's worked as a ferryman for nearly 40 years, he's happy to tell you. And, as he's taking you across, he keeps letting you know that, if it wouldn't be for his old age, he would have left this town long ago. And, with permission from the Black Fist, he doesn't even charge you guys. He just lets you guys go across. And, he lets you know that there are 3 people that typically look after the keep from the Sokol gang. He says there is Darvag, Chandra, and Roran, and they're all staff at the house. And he says he spoke to them just a couple of days prior, and they all seem to be in good health. And then he says, yeah, the Fist have a detachment on the island. And, if you guys ask about, tales of ghosts or spirits, he just says that he doesn't know anything about any dead clerics, but his Graham used to tell him that the island was full of spirits. Not that he's actually seen any, but, used to be a temple of Tyr that was on that island, so you never know what kind of undead or spirits would be left alive. And eventually, it's only a few hundred feet to get out to the island, and you see that Thorn Island is the sandy, wind-buffeted islet that rests offshore in the Bay of Flan. It's a natural sort of breakwater against the ravages of the Moon Sea beyond it, and you can see that it's clearly the main thing about this is Sokol Keep. And, it presumably at some time was a formidable fortress. You can see there's this giant beacon atop the highest tower, which typically acts as a lighthouse, but which is currently dark. And there's a small quay on the eastern extent of the isle, and you see there's a couple of large sort of wooden warehouses. And as you come in on the docks, you can see that they have seen better times, but they still look sturdy. And, as you make your way up to the keep itself, you see there are 3 people who are there to greet you. And, they are 3 sort of basic human and very clearly look like staff of some sort. They're not fancily dressed, very simple, and, clearly servants in one way or another. And, you see there's a sort of middle-aged groundkeeper and a female who possibly looks to be about the same age as his wife, who are down at the docks as they see the ferry coming across, and as you pull in, they both nod and look at you a little sort of askance and just sort of ask, you have business here, please?
We did, right? What were we?
We're here looking for
Spirits. We're here for spirits.
I believe we've already had our fill of spirits for the evening.
Were you?
I'm sorry.
They introduced themselves as Chandra and Darvag, and the ferryman, while this is going to say, the Fist hired him to locate the missing people, and they immediately sort of turn and warm up to you. Say, oh, you're here to find the soldiers and our master, Eigen?
Yes. Now, I wasn't aware that Eigen himself was amongst the missing. Perhaps you could describe to us what's been happening around these parts for the past couple of days. That would be lovely.
And they nod and they, welcome you into the keep itself. And they tell you that well, everything we're running here, it's business as usual. We've maintained our usual routines, but the security and the man who supervised from the Sokol family, Egan, have gone missing. And I mean, the guards change regularly here, but Grim, who generally keeps things in command and keeps things organized, is usually here. And he's been here fairly steadily for the last month, and he and Egan, their supervisor, and the sergeant were often together, would converse and talk, and they're sort of like chalk and cheese, but they seem to get along just fine, and Egan would frequently disappear for long stretches, usually going into the eastern and western towers. She sort of points out to you, and you can see that the condition of the keep is such that the towers still stand. They're not in excellent condition, and they will say that part of the western tower is actually collapsed at a certain point, and the main area of the keep itself, you can see, has now been turned into almost a manor home of sorts. There are glass window panes, and it looks not luxurious, but certainly far more comfortable than what any original keep would have had. And she points out that the soldiers stay off, sort of on the side, and then the rest you can see are sort of storage areas for gardening supplies and things like that. And they'll tell you as they sort of show you around and welcome you into the main manor home that a few days ago, Egan had been really excited, just jumping up and down, almost bursting with energy, but really frustrated because Sergeant Grimm wasn't actually here. He was back in the city for some reason. And on the evening, a couple of nights ago, when all of this took place, the light went out in the lighthouse, and there was this unearthly wailing sound that they heard. And I mean, this beacon is magical, so they don't know how to turn it back on or what happened with it. And I mean,
did you try shaking it?
No, it's magical. Does shaking work with magical things?
Sometimes.
And you see they sort of look, and he kind of shrugs and is like, maybe I'll go try and shake it. And, then she will say, no. And since that night, all sorts of weird things are happening. Things fall over without reason. There's knocking sounds been keeping us awake, and we hear it everywhere in the heap, but it seems to get worse around the eastern tower. But nobody's been hurt. Nothing's permanently damaged. It's just like an annoying spirit or poltergeist that seems to be getting in everybody's way ever since that light went out.
I'm
Okay.
starting to think that beacon was keeping more than ships off the rocks.
You think?
Now, sorry, I'm trying to keep a cast of characters here in my head, and I'm not quite there yet. So there was Sergeant
All right.
Grimm. There were 6 breakfast guards. There's Agent Sokol, who was the quartermaster.
He's the quartermaster. He's the supervisor of everybody, of these 3 servants, and a member of the family that owns this island and keep. So younger rich man who's seemingly vanished as well.
And then there's also Darvag, Chandra, and Rorin, who I don't think we've met yet.
Haven't met yet. They're the servants.
They're the servants. And then there's Egan.
Egan is the quartermaster.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said Agan Sokol.
Nope. It's IGAN. So I don't know. I look at it every time and think Egan. So I'm going to go with Egan.
Igor.
His name is Tibor.
Excellent. All right, Egan. That is a good cast of characters then. And sorry, there was another sergeant that was supposed to be here.
a couple of nights ago when the light went out, Grim, who's become friends with Sokol, even though they're very different people, he was away in town. So he was away when the light went out. But he has since returned and now he's disappeared.
Okay, so terribly sorry. Do you know when Sergeant Grimm got back? Do you happen to know where he went?
They'll shake their heads and look at each other and say, he and Eigen disappeared somewhere. I mean, Eigen would usually vanish for a day or so at a time into the eastern and western towers. And you see they look nervous maybe about saying any more, but eventually kind of break down and just say that Eigen thought he found the treasure. And I think Grim was excited to be helping and working with him. So we're just worried that Eigen found something that obviously upset this spirit or a ghost or something, and we're really worried that something bad happened to him.
Well, don't you worry now, ma'am. We're here, and I'd like to say we've dealt with this sort of thing before, and well, I can't say that I know spirits particularly well myself, but I do know that if you stab anything enough, it'll die, and so we'll try that out and see how that works. The Eastern Tower, that would be point to this tower right here.
Yes, and she will say yes, and as you make your way through, you can see there are training dummies and things like that set up, used typically by, you presume, the soldiers that stay here, and the grounds themselves are very well kept. And they will look and say, do you want to start in the towers, or do you want to search Master Sokol's quarters? I mean, everything is locked, but I can give you a key if you'd like.
Oh, that would be lovely, actually. We'll probably be heading up to Master Sokol's quarters pretty soon. I don't know what we might find there, but anything helps. I appreciate that. And could you possibly fix me up a cup of tea as well?
She nods at that, and you get a little sort of sense of sort of reticence, which is like, well, of course. And they show you around and into sort of the main front doors of this home that has been built here, and everything on the outside, you can see there are thick sort of oak wooden doors, and it is a massive key that she uses to sort of unlock it and open. And once you get inside, everything seems a little more ordinary, very basically simply built kind of a things. And as she heads off to, she says she'll be back in a moment with a cup of tea. She shows you the master's sort of 3-room suite off to one side. And a quick glance shows that, the rooms here, comprised of a bedroom, sitting area, and a small office, are all in good repair and look to have been cleaned recently. The wall and floors are richly decorated with carpets, paintings, and tapestries depicting various heroic scenes. The room is untidy, but otherwise appears well tended to. The bed is freshly made, and a few piles of laundered clothes lay on the bench at its foot.
Oh, excellent. And while she is away fetching me the tea, I am going to essentially step into the office, close the door behind me, and immediately start rifling through this guy's papers, looking for a diary or looking for any sort of ledgers that might be interesting looking.
What, are we supposed to stall her?
You've got to boil water for tea. We've got a good 5 minutes.
All right. As you are in this room, so you can see that, as you give me an investigation check as you want to look around. And so you can see, on the desk, there are sort of scattered papers and pages You see there's, bookcase full of sort of books and scrolls standing beside this large, comfortable sofa with 2 large books laying open on it.
Excellent. And who is the smartest looking member of the party?
Not me.
Clearly me.
I think we're all in the woods or out in the weeds right now.
All right.
Okay.
Fiode, as you go check out the bookcases, you can see that most of the subjects of the books here seems to be heroic stories and some history books, mostly on the Moonsea region. But give me an investigation check, please. Yeah,
Bookcase, guys.
Yeah, you find, most of these are like based on like some theological debates, some dry lectures on law, a couple of poetry books, and everything's sorted nicely by subject. You find a couple of books on long dead languages, things like that.
I think my role may be somewhat in the similar. Here we are, investigators. I think none of us are particularly great at this. I'll be looking around the desk.
I can try.
And be like, I don't know. I thought I could see something here, but this just looks like a bunch of business.
I'll look on top of very high shelves.
All right. So you
I
see the
find
paper.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Tops of the shelves, dust free, have been cleaned. The papers on the desk, you see there are sketches, like random musings and observations, and some shoddy attempts at poetry. The sketches mostly show the keep. You see there are 3 drawers on the desk. Each one is secured with a simple lock.
Oh, well, that's a thing that can be solved. These tools are normally dexterity, yes?
Yes.
Okay, because it's still set to query. So, hold on. Why is my this is going to vex me. Proficient. I am proficient, and it's dex. Leave me alone.
So there are still the sofa that has a couple of books open on it, and the carpets and paintings in the room that can be looked at too. You easily pop open the 3 drawers. Most of them seem to be filled with junk, but you do find a sketch of what appears to be some sort of shrine.
If we're assuming we're all in the room, I can check out the paintings. If we get another check, if we're doing individual checks each, then.
What's
Go
Mary
shit.
Bell and Rascal doing?
What kind of shrine is this?
It is a shrine to Tyr.
Ooh.
Interesting. I guess I could roll in, kind of out of my element here.
We all are.
I guess I can roll a perception check?
I think it's investigation.
Yeah, be investigation. Yes.
I mean, I'll just roll
so-
one then. Meh. Don't know what
Yeah,
the
so, I
heck
mean,
is going
the
on.
Yeah. The artwork depicts scenes of heroism and sacrifice. There's a female knight in shining armor facing a red dragon in a burning village, and a priest bathed in light keeping a group of undead at bay while this congregation barricades itself within a church. They seem a bit idyllic, as, the sign of good always appears to be winning. And, Ringo, as you recognize that this shrine was to Tyr, you also recognize that these scenes depicted are famous stories about the followers of Tyr, the maimed god of justice. And as you are doing this, one of the books on the sofa just gets knocked over and falls to the floor.
Well, that's unfortunate, and I will reach over and carefully pick it up.
You see
Because
that.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you see that it is an ancient-looking book titled Moonsea Cults, written by Thalios of Tyr.
Very fascinating. That this here book should just so happen to fall over while we're in this room investigating this here subject. This here
I guess
very
how
subject.
closed it was open. Was that not how it?
What's the name of the author again?
Thalios of Tyr.
I will. Is there like a feather quill pen on the desk somewhere?
Yes.
I will pick up the feather quill pen and I will hold out my hand and I will ask the room aloud, if Thalios be here, blow the pen from my hand kind of thing. Nothing
Probably
happens?
not. You don't expect
Nothing
that.
happens.
Hmm. Worth a shot.
So, and as you open the book and flip through it, you see that it is written in an ancient derivative of common known as thoras.
Can I piece it together even though I don't speak Thoras?
You figure it would probably take well, actually, no, give me a straight intelligence check.
Ah, yes. Certainly not a dump stat. Actually,
Yeah.
strength is a dump stat, but whatever.
You can piece together that it is clearly about ancient cults, and there are detailed sketches about some of their religious practices, but that's pretty much all you can pick up.
Any tasteful woodcuts of witches they practice in the nude? You know.
You'll have to look under the bed for that.
Mm-hmm. Can Fioda have a crack at that book?
Yes.
Oh, sure. It's a lovely tome, I assure you. Don't know why they're
So,
spelling all the S's with big long F-looking things, though.
Fiode, you look at it and you are able to pick out that a lot of the cults described seem to be mostly about those that worship demons, powerful spirits, or simply cults of personality.
Not much useful here. Any names of the cults?
No, no names. You do pick up the cult of the Black Bull, which seems to be set up not too far outside of Flan itself, and shows up in a later adventure in this season.
Hint.
As you are doing that, the second book on the sofa falls to the ground.
Oh dear,
What's that one say?
I don't believe that we've quite solved this yet. Perhaps another couple of books.
Fioda will pick it up.
This appears to be a book, and it's more modern. It's contemporary on potential curses and how to counteract them. But flipping through it, does anyone have the Arcana skill or Medicine skill?
No.
I do not.
Crap, I don't have medicine.
Nope.
I have survival.
No, the book is specific.
Yeah.
I'll do sleight of hand to it.
And as this happens, coming back into the door with your tea is a younger sort of lad, clearly the son of the other two, and he just places the tray down and quickly nods and scurries back out.
Thank you, son. Was it Roarin?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Roarin. Let me ask you, son, how you doing these days? How you holding up?
He, kind of peeks his head in around. He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. And son, don't mind our presence here. We'll set things right and be out on our way soon. If you beg our pardon.
Oh, okay.
How's the tea? How do you taste it?
Tea is good. It is strong and dark. The kind of tea your spoon can stand straight up in. The kind of tea they like on the coast.
Excellent. Not much of a tea drinker. It's mostly bourbon for me, but I can appreciate a finely made cup of anything, really.
I'm surprised you didn't have a flask.
You know. No, I don't have a flask on me. I'm sorry. Haven't quite gotten that yet. Whatever.
What else is there to find in here?
Nothing else to find. So with that, you guys have the lighthouse, and I would say the eastern and western towers, or any of the storage areas that you guys wanted to check out.
Well,
Seems to me the scene of the crime should be the first place to check out.
what's the scene of the crime?
The lighthouse.
I was just about to concur, sir. If you were a good soldier and the lighthouse beacon was to go out, that would be the first place you would go to attempt to rectify things. After you, sir.
Less talking, more moving. Fiona will say that as she's heading out the door.
Moving, moving, moving. This room was boring anyway.
Oh, it's just because we didn't have the right skills for it.
Did we check the paintings before we leave?
Yes, you recognize that they were of stories from
Oh, okay, that's what those
Tyr's
were.
history. All right. The lighthouse is the tallest structure in this area. You can see that as you climb through the doorways that the Black Fist guards seemingly sort of bunk down around and at the bottom of it. And when you clearly it was a simple watchtower and then refurnished into a lighthouse at some point. And as you move through the 3 floors before you get to the top, you can see there are basic barracks, a bunkhouse, things like that. Nothing fancy. And then you find there's the sergeant's quarters sort of at the top, and then at the very top you are up at where the beacon is, and this gives you an incredible view out over the harbor. And you can see that you can see the city of Flan, you can see all of Thorn Island, and the crystal and brass beacon, stand here in the center of the room and just are currently unlit.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. By the
Yes.
way, I will in fact take the book on how to disable curses with me. That seems incredibly useful.
All right.
I will store that away somewhere amongst my bags. Any writing around the outside of the beacon?
There are runes that are clearly written around. I mean, you were told is a magical beacon. They all appear to be clean, very legible, and very organized and well put to. Everything in here is organized and seemingly fairly straightforward.
All right, look around back for a button of some sort. See if we can press that for 5 seconds and get this thing relit. Is there a plug that anyone can see?
You guys can look around. As nobody has
How big is the
Arcana.
beacon?
The beacon itself is, the brass fittings and everything. It's, about 8 or 9 feet across. And then there is this, crystal sphere in the center of it that you would assume would be lit up, but is currently unlit.
Is the crystal just sort of sitting in a bracket, or?
Yes.
I'm going to very carefully remove it, place it back in, and then, assuming it hasn't already lit before I let go, I'm going to cast light upon it.
All right. You cast light, and it radiates and then you see this spell almost get sucked back into nothingness.
That's slightly disturbing.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What could it be?
Some sort of super dense, super tiny point in space that's sucking everything in, even the light. Nah, that's preposterous.
That's ludicrous.
Preposterous.
I'm gonna
And
start-
Rascal, as this happens, you feel just the gentlest breeze just blow past your ear.
That's not disconcerting at all.
This goldy sort of box on the right hand side here.
That's
What
the
does that
trap
look
door you came up. It's there's a ladder below to get to the lower floor.
like? Okay, and these other two maps are basically just the floors up.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess I'll kick around and start looking. It's a lighthouse.
It's a lighthouse. Everything seems surprisingly in order. I mean, you don't see any signs of damage. Everything is clean. Everything is well maintained. Just isn't lit, and for some reason, other magical light put into it also goes out.
I'm gonna spark up a torch. And
Lights
I'm
up
gonna
easily
hold-
enough.
And I'm gonna hold the torch near the beacon.
You put it up near the beacon. Nothing happens.
Okay. And it's a big crystal ball, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Does the crystal ball look like it's sort of like refracting the light normally, or does it look like the light's just sort of disappearing into it?
As the light gets closer to it, you can see that the light reflects a little bit off it, but then gets seemingly absorbed as opposed to reflecting back outward.
The only spell I know is thaumaturgy. Can I
Try
create
it, see if it'll go off.
Can I create I can make like I can cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for a minute. I can't create light with it. I can sort
Change
of
the
like
color of your eyes.
I can change the color of my eyes. I will change the color of the flame to bright white, and I'll brighten it.
All right, you brighten it. For a second, it lights up, and you can see there is a little sort of reflection and sparkle, and then something else seems to counteract it.
It's anti-magic.
Does it?
It's not an anti-magic field. It's just an anti-magic sucking thing.
Seems like
And again, as that happens, Ringo, you feel that just a slight breeze across your ear.
I look in the direction of the breeze, like where it's coming from.
Give a perception check.
Where is my actual perception skill? I need to be on the right page for it. P is for perception. I focus on others.
Just for out of the corner of your eyes, you turn and look. You think you vaguely see a shape reflect in the light, but I mean, it is incredibly dim and barely visible.
Do I still see it?
Nope. By the time you turn and look, it's no longer there.
All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna switch it. Switch the torch over to my left hand. I'm gonna brighten it again. Move it towards the crystal ball, and then as soon as I see the shape out of the corner of my eye again, I'm gonna draw my rapier and try to run through.
And as you brighten the torch and move it towards, you see nothing. And the light, as it reflects off, does not seem to dissipate at this time. It glows a little more brightly, and you get a slight reflection off of the crystal.
Well, now that's interesting. Try that lat trick again.
I gently touch the crystal and cast light upon it.
You cast light upon the crystal, and as it glows, and it's muted, but it stays lit.
Hmm.
Well, now that's interesting. I could swear I saw that we had some company up here. But just for a second. See if
Well,
you can
it only
maintain
works
that
for.
spell. I'm sorry?
It only works for an hour.
Right, but see if you can maintain that as long as possible. We'll see if we can see it from the outside then. There's quite a bit going on here that we're not quite seeing, I think.
I think we should just be moving to the storerooms now. I don't think there's much else for us to learn up here.
Let's head on down to the storerooms and leave this lighthouse be. I say a bit loud, and then head down the hatch.
All right.
Before we go, can I try that one thing I suggested to the servants? I'm going to shake the ball before we go. Just give it a good old shake. Percussive maintenance.
Give me a dexterity check.
Row. Check.
Just a check.
Oh,
You drop this massive crystal ball as you're attempting to sort of shake it, and it lands on your foot. You take 3 bludgeoning damage. It does not break, though, luckily.
dex save to catch it on the first bounce
Sure.
before anyone turns around.
Yeah, you catch it on the first bounce.
And I try and hold my shout of pain. So there's obviously commotion behind everyone as they're leaving, but when they look back, there's just red-faced me, and the ball is back in its position.
And it does not relight. It is just about 9 o'clock. You guys check the storage areas. Nothing. The final 2 places are the eastern or western towers.
East Tower. That seems to be the highest incident of poltergeist activity.
All right.
We're doing a 5-minute break.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a quick bathroom break.
It's 9.
Yeah,
Take
we
back.
dally, don't we? Or I tend to dally. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Yawns.
So things are going to start opening again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm told.
Yeah, we've already used phase 1 of reopening.
Yeah, so if you want to go to the yacht club or play tennis or go play a round of golf or hire maids, then that's fine. I'm wondering if this is maybe not necessarily aimed at most people.
You think? Yeah, I saw a meme. It's like, oh, you can invite people into your homes, not your friends and family.
Well, no, here's the thing. That's not a thing, right? Like you can have people over. They recommend against it. It's just no gatherings of more than 5. That's the thing that's prevented, right? Like you can't have more than 5 people.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the smaller shops around us have started reopening. The bigger thing is the numbers in Ontario are trending upwards again already.
But that's more because of the higher availability of testing and the actual responses coming back from those tests. So it's not a great depictor of the fact that there's actually higher cases. There's just higher tracked cases.
Yeah, the reported numbers were always low. Always something like 10% of what actually is out there. So
Oh yeah, we need to be doing way more testing.
It's like they could test you if you're going into the hospital, so they know the symptomatic cases, right? It's the asymptomatic cases because you can get it and have it and like go through the whole like 2-3 weeks of it and not know you have it, right?
And
You can
then there's
have like
also
a
the
minor
few
little cough.
people who aren't exactly asymptomatic but get hit with it to such a low degree they don't realize they actually have it. They think they just have a cold or something.
Yeah, so
So
it's either
they basically act as an asymptomatic case, but
yes.
they actually have
Well,
symptoms.
I mean, like coronavirus is amongst the class of viruses that we call the common cold, right? It's just this particular coronavirus kills you a lot more often, and you have no immunity to, unlike every other coronavirus, which you do to some degree. So that's why it's bad. But yeah, it's the asymptomatic cases are extremely underreported. So they say that the death rate's like 5%. It's probably more like 0.5%, which is still like 20 times higher than the flu.
Well, well, they're calling it 5% because that's how much of the tested populace that have been tested have died from it.
Yeah, but
And to be fair,
most
though, compare that to, say, you know, the more like Ebola or anything like that, which do somewhere in the realm of like 1%. 5% is a huge increase in numbers comparatively.
yes, 5% is really really bad. Mind you, that's for like the symptomatic cases that are so bad that you go get tested. Right now, as more testing happens, I think we're going to see the death rate drop, but we're going to see the infectious rate, skyrocket. Just
Yes, yeah,
because all of the
and
asymptomatic
because you'll
cases
get more
will.
people who have tested for it that have potentially survived, as opposed to those who have died. And the numbers on one end will increase much more sharply than on the other,
Yes,
but there still will be a relative correlation between the two.
I'm just waiting until the vaccine comes out, and then I'm gonna walk into a store, just a random store, not a grocery store, and I'm just gonna like pick things up and look at them and like put them down and not buy them and just like do that for a couple of hours. That's the first thing I'm gonna do when this whole thing's over. It's gonna be fair.
Browse.
I'm just gonna browse. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Uh, this thing's going to change how our society acts for the next 20, 30 years.
Maybe, but I'm really hoping that we don't all have to wear masks into every store past a year.
Well,
No?
here's the thing. There won't be a viable vaccine for at least another year, if not year and a half. Like
Yes.
minimum. So until that time, we're going to have to wear masks when we're out in public. Basically. Or in situations where we're going to be in tight quarters with people. So it'll become a thing where after, 2 years of doing that, we're going to be used to it and it's just going to become the norm. So that's how it's going to change us, because you figure right now it's not considered to be, weird in a lot of Asian nations to wear masks when you're sick because you don't want to give your illness to others. And that has transferred to other places where people have emigrated from those nations to, say, North America or Europe, and they do the same thing here and there.
Here.
Yeah. Like, so it'll be a thing where it'll just be common sense to wear a mask to save others from whatever the hell you have.
Everyone back?
I never left.
Same.
Ooh, pulling a
Dun, dun,
Patrick.
dun.
All right, so entering the East Tower, you can see that at one point this was filled by a vast library. And, it is now used primarily to store furniture. And you see thick layers of dust and cobwebs covering everything in here. It doesn't look like anybody has been in here for years. What would you guys like to do?
I'm
Well,
gonna
he-
do a survival check and look around for footprints and the like.
All right, give me a survival check.
Now, this here is what I'm good at.
Yes, you notice disturbances in the dust on the floor. They are very faint, but they are there. And you can, as you are moving, you see that the footprints lead you to show that some of the furniture against one of the far walls has been moved back and forth. And you can see just little disturbances in the dust, almost as if something is being blocked from view.
I go right there. Check that for traps. And I'll let the rest of my team know that information.
All right. Is that a perception check?
Investigation to check for traps. So as you see, you see that one of these large mirrors has been pushed against this door. You don't notice any traps, and as you slide it across, you see a large door had been boarded over, but there are a few loose planks at the bottom of it.
All right. I straighten my hair in the mirror, and then I sort of pull at the loose planks.
All right, you pull them free, and you make enough space that you guys would be able to squeeze through the opening.
Excellent. I will draw my rapier, tap the space on the other side to make sure that it's solid, and step through.
All right. On the other side, you find yourself in a large and well-maintained shrine. You see a beautiful gray statue of a one-handed blind god standing at the end of the room with a small stone altar with an old-looking brass scale at its feet. There are a couple of dusty cabinets on either side of the altar filled with books and scrolls. And you see a beautiful reading desk of purple wood fills most of the remaining space, on top of which is a small leather journal.
All right. I will approach the desk. Does the journal appear to have a lock on it?
No lock. It's got a couple of leather laces that tie together.
All right. I will reach forward, untie the laces, flip it over to the first page.
All right. You can see on the inset page there is a little book plate, and it has the name Sokol written in. And the journal is new. The leather is still sort of soft and supple, and you can see even just riffling through, it is full of writing.
All right. Anyone care to hear some tales from our good Mr. Sokol? And I
For
start.
the most recent.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
All right.
I flip forward until I start seeing blank pages.
All right. Yeah, you flip through and you can see there are no dates in this. There's just random notes all over the pages, including sentences in the margins. And it seems more like a collection of thoughts and notes. And toward the end, as you're flipping through, you see that, most of it becomes far more sort of scribbled and excited than anything else. And then that is what you find on the last page.
These appear to be the works of an educated man.
Doesn't seem like it. Why is he writing all over the page like that instead of going this way?
That's because he's writing his thoughts as he gets them.
What does it mean here in this section? Only the penitent man will pass.
Not a clue.
Can you guys read that all right?
Yes, I have to. I find myself turning my head quite frequently here.
Yeah. So what it says is, what we do know, it is under the West Tower. The weird symbol of head surrounded by tentacles, think it are tentacles, was cult in region Flan. Followers of Tyr destroyed it, but never found the treasure. Book of Moonsea cults by Thalios of Tyr might contain more. Need to know, password, scratched out. Potential curses, question mark. True nature of cult, question mark. Grimm thinks it is unimportant. Any evil long gone. Gold is gold. Disagree. Maybe this is dangerous. Do the spirits speak Thoras? Weird. Thought angels spoke all languages. Book does not fall open on the right page, though. Really hate dead languages. Most selfish, scratched out twice. Where there are people, there is good and evil. No good without evil. Page 7, scratched out. Looks the same, dangerous to make a mistake. Page 51, scratched out. Page 78, circled. Must be it. Why else pay attention to position in praying in how to hunt book? 4 symbols, sure of it. 3 words, must not get it wrong. Mono, dicastus, demisis, kyrios, megalo, to, dotus, liptus, archaeus. Yes, got it. Now wait for Grimm. Digging without soldiers might be dangerous. To enter, hand plus to mono, to megalo. And the sideways one, translating Thoras. Ugh, did they really speak like this? The holy blissful martyr for to seek, then ham hath holden when that were seek. When I have the treasure, I will sell these damned books and find a trustworthy group with a wizard or cleric to do the research for me.
Does anyone understand this toe mono and toe megalo? Is that like a prayer?
I think that's the password.
I am an acolyte.
Does
I
this...
shove the book in his direction. Also, does anything here look like infernal to me?
Nothing looks like infernal.
Okay.
Did you guys brought the one book? Did you bring the Book of Moonsea Cults as well?
Did
No,
we ever
but,
get a chance to get the Book of Moonsea Cults?
Yeah, it was in that last room.
I took the book with the how to remove curses because I figured that might be needed. I'm going to suggest, maybe we might want to pop by and grab that one on the way back, on the way to the Weston Tower. Get
All
another
right.
cup of lovely tea.
Yeah, you guys can easily do that. You find that as you flip to page 78, as this journal tells you to, you find a passage, Fiode, as you were the one who was able to read it, referencing an ancient cult that worshipped an entity referred to as the, quote, Just One and the Great One. The rest of the page depicts some of the cult's symbols, secret signals, and prayers, all of which are in this, long forgotten dead tongue of Thoras.
Okay, interesting.
The being for the cult was known as the Perfect One?
The Just One and the Great One. So it's Gretzky related.
Ah, excellent. Do I also recognize Gretzky as a avatar of Tyr?
No, this is not an avatar of Tyr.
That's ominous.
Yeah, well, as the other, as you realized in the journal, they said this was a cult that Tyr and his followers destroyed, but they never found their treasure.
Ah, excellent. In the West Tower, weird symbol of head surrounded by tentacles. Cult region flown. Followers of Tyr destroyed it. Never found the treasure. Book of Moonsea cults. Okay, so yeah, I gotta go grab the Book of Moonsea cults then.
All right. So on 78, that's where you find the Just One and the Great One and some of their symbols, signals, and prayers. No further detailed information.
Okay.
After that, you have your tea. You head over to the West Tower. And this tower is wholly empty save for dust and cobwebs. But as you enter, you immediately smell wet, freshly turned earth. And Mary Bell, you can clearly see footprints leading down into the basement.
Tracks! Human tracks. Do they look humanoid? Like elf or human would put them down?
Completely humanoid.
The most dangerous game, then.
Mm-hmm. Darn tootin'.
All right, you guys head downstairs, I assume?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All right, you find yourself in the basement area as you go through the doors coming down the stairs. You can see that you are in a small room. You see the floor has been broken open and dug down to the stone beneath it. And the earth and the tiles that were broken away are stacked neatly on the side here, along with a couple of shovels and long, strands of rope that are neatly put away. But you also see that there is a piece of rope that is tied to a hook onto the wall that is severed as it leads down to this giant stone slab in the earth.
Is there a block and tackle down here? With
Does
the
it
rope?
look? Does it look like the rope was severed under the block, or is it just like leading under the block?
It looks like, as you look at the length, it looks like it was severed under the block. So it looks like it led below the block.
The block fell down and cut it off. Okay.
So let's move the block.
Yeah, so I will fetch some rope and find something to tie around the block or through the block. Is this block shaped, or is it just sort of like rough stone?
You see that it's shaped. It's very smooth. It's about 10 feet across and maybe about a little longer in its depth. You see as you look it over that there are worn glyphs all the way around it and an indentation in the shape of a human hand about 6 inches away from the front edge of the slab.
Okay.
Time to speak the magic words.
Yeah. So,
Who wants the honor? Who's brave enough to put their hand there and say the magic words?
Fiona do it.
side, but I'm also one that believes that life should be lived, and so I will put my hand in the indentation and say Tomano Tomego.
Oh wait, ready to action if anything comes out. Stab it.
Ready to action with my bow.
Same.
Right. As you say it, the stone slab just vanishes, and you find yourself looking down into a deep, dark hole.
I light my torch and lower it down on the rope.
All right. As you lower it down, you see there is a passage, and musty, sort of moist air wafts up, and your light casts dancing shadows on what appears to be some sort of room with a finished tiled floor about 15 feet below you.
Oh, looks like there's something down there. Do I have anything to tie a rope off to?
There is this bolt on the side of the wall where the other rope is tied to.
Okay.
And you can see, as your light goes down, there is a ladder down the side of the wall as well.
All right. I sort of lean down and test the ladder with my foot.
Seems solid.
I think we can go down.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll head down first. For some reason I have 12 hit points.
I was going to ask about that. It's like, do first level bugbears have 12 hit points?
I'm 4th level, so it should be.
That's real low.
Should be like 30.
You have 36. You have 36 on mine, so yeah, it should be down to 33. All right, you guys make your way down, and the hole you entered bores through about 5 feet of solid rock and then empties out into this room. And as you keep climbing down, you see it's about 40 feet by 50 feet around. And eventually, this low ceiling is about 10 feet above you. While the floor is stone, it is covered by a layer of thin mud, uh, within which you see tracks of a number of other people heading through to the corridor down this way. And then through the mud, you can see there are these actually fairly well-made tiles underneath it, and that's what was reflecting your torchlight.
Am I supposed to only be able to see based on what looks like Fido? Or...
Yeah, I should have dark vision as well.
Oh, I didn't know bugbears got dark vision.
They're goblinoids.
Tieflings do as well.
And I think Deadshot is a half-elf?
I am a human. That's how I got the sharpshooter feat.
Yeah, Field's got dark vision too, but I don't think it's set up.
Humans are valuable. They just can't see in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you are set up.
Only seeing 30 feet, so I must have screwed something up because I'm pretty sure I set the token.
I'm blind.
Oh, well, you've got... Okay. Now, you guys are in total darkness, so it's going to be dim light for those with dark vision, unless somebody lights a torch.
Well,
Don't
Ringo
see why
did
not.
drop a torch down. So.
Did drop
Yeah.
a torch down, and I will I will retrieve my torch. Because I can
All
fight
right,
with
then
it.
I'll light Ringo up.
I like how the new one actually gives you dark vision and the ability to hold light at the same time.
Well, are we headed down this tunnel?
There's really nowhere else for us to go.
Yep. So there's a so we're basically just in a big round room. Little bit of additional mud, presumably just from everyone tramping through here. And a tunnel. So
Yeah, and you can see that somebody has cleared parts of this wall and floor, revealing some sort of fresco that is underneath, but it's a little too faded. And there is a large brass door that was here that is now currently sitting open. And yeah, easily enough to see some muddy tracks of people heading down this way.
Well, let's go. And I will use my butt end of my halberd to tap 15 feet in front of us as we go.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
So tell me when you... Oh, I guess I will also try and do this stealth. But I have armor on, so this is going to be shit.
Fiona is going to keep pace with oh my god, Ian, I forget your character's name already.
Nadir.
Nadir.
Or
Not so
Nidir.
stealthily. She's
All
got
right.
her bow drawn, knocked.
Can I quickly just do a survival check to see if there's any tracks down here?
There's lots of muddy footprints that are heading in the direction you guys are headed.
All right, everyone. Lots of muddy footprints. Let's go.
Yeah, we can see them.
All right, and as you are making your way down this hallway, you can see these footprints continue along fairly steadily. And as you are making that turn, you see off to your right, there is a small area. There's a little narrow ledge about 7 feet above the floor, revealing a small 2-foot high, 10-foot deep alcove back into the wall.
all right. Ringo will sort of peer into the alcove.
All right, you see that it's filled with calcified skeletal remains of humans.
About 6 humans.
No, this looks like it probably has ancient skeletal remains of anywhere between 10 to 12 people.
Okay. Does this look like a proper burial site? Or does this look like this is just a place where a bunch of people were dumped or sacrificed?
Give me a perception check.
I'm getting a next generation vibe out of this.
21. You see that as you sort of sift through some of these bones, there are a few minor trinkets, nothing of any real value, but clearly people were buried with these trinkets. It seems like it was a proper burial spot.
Makes sense. This is the former home of some sort of cult. They would have buried they would have buried the people that died here. All right, fair enough.
Were there sacrifice victims?
Didn't see nothing like that. Looks more like they were buried with things that they had in real life.
So cult members, possibly.
And
That's what I'm
sacrifice
thinking.
victims don't always have to be unwilling.
I prefer to hold off on the sacrifice. A burial until proven sacrificial.
And as you continue forward, the ground beneath your feet starts to slope downwards. And, you can see the footprints continue going ahead of you. Eventually, in this area that you are moving in towards Nadir and Fiode, you can see that this room is longer than it is wide and obviously submerged at one point as old calcified growths of barnacles still cling to nearly every surface along the wall. And you can see suits of bizarre armor made of what appears to be coral and shells stand in niches, each crusted over with the same heavy growth as everything else in the room.
So I probably shouldn't have walked up to this as it rolls for initiative, right?
No, you walk up to it, and even in this darkness, you can see it just looks completely crusted over and almost fused to the wall by all of these barnacles.
I'll poke it from back here. Just a gentle poke.
You poke and doom. There's just this hollow sort of thunk.
Oh, anyone want to take a closer look or just keep going?
Can't see anything again, so
We are up this way.
Yeah,
you
just keep
didn't
going
move
straight.
up with us.
Follow the light.
Oh, there's more up here. So there's 4 of them?
Yes. And as you make it to the center of the room, Nadir and Fiode, you hear this cracking and pulling sound as these suits of armor start pulling away from the wall and moving towards you guys. Now I need you to roll initiative, please.
Yay!
I knew it.
Had to wait till the casters were close to it.
I'm not
We
a
had
cat.
no casters.
Oh, you know what I mean. Rogue. Squishy.
I'm the world's greatest swordsman. And I'm flat on my feet.
First up is Nadir, who was ready for this as these things start to pull free and stagger towards you. These suits of armor crusted over in barnacles.
All right, well, let's see how tough these guys are. I think that's 15 feet. Yep, 15 feet. And this is the one to my southwest. Nice.
Yeah, you reach out and your halberd, breaks through, and you see some of these shells sort of crack and break off. That is 8 slashing damage.
Does it feel like it takes the full brunt of the attack, or is it reduced?
You get the sense that it took the full brunt of the attack.
All right.
Any movement? Any bonus action?
Well, I guess I get as a bonus action, I can use my Polearm Master It says the attack uses the same ability modifier. Does that mean I just roll the attack again?
Yes.
Hey. Yeah, it probably misses.
That does miss. Feod.
All right. It was this one that he hit, right?
Yes.
Perfect. That's what I'm going to hit as well. 19 for 8 piercing damage.
Yeah, your arrow strikes through and definitely hits.
That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to move back up a little bit so my back's against the wall. That's it.
All right. And yeah, you can see this suit of armor as it's moving. A lot of these barnacles have now been broken off. And you can see that with the arrow and with this halberd, it is definitely scratched and sort of dented and looking pretty battered at this point. That takes us to Deadshot.
All right, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on that that guy and shoot it.
The one that's already been damaged?
Yes.
Does not hit. It just ping bounces off of the armor.
Oh,
Any
well.
movement?
I'm going to move a little bit further out of the way.
All right. Rascal.
All right, let's see here. Just let me double check something. Okay, we're gonna step up next to this guy because I get the fact that Ringo is going to do the same thing as I am, most likely. And we're gonna whip out the spear and two-hand throw.
Glances off the armor.
And then backward roundhouse kick. Wow. And yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Yeah, you strike it, and these barnacles and shells go flying, but you don't get the sense that you do any damage. And then it steps forward and will slam into you, Rascal. That's an 11, which does not hit, and then it's going to try and reach out and use the back of its elbow to slam into you, Ringo.
Save.
A 20 to hit for 5 bludgeoning damage.
That's a slam bam. Thank you, ma'am.
That is rather rude, sir.
This one's going to race up to you.
As he comes in my threatened space, I'm going to use my reaction to do attack of opportunity. And miss.
Does not connect. He comes slamming in. 20 to hit for 5 bludgeoning damage. And an 8 does not connect. This guy is going to move forward. He will slam once into Deadshot. There's a 19 to hit for 4 bludgeoning damage. And he'll go for an Nadir and not hit. Takes us to Ringo.
Okay, so now that I'm actually no fooling a swashbuckler, I'm going to hit him in the face for a whole bunch of damage.
That hits. Yeah, you stab him through, and you can hear the sparks and scraping.
Okay, and as a third level swashbuckler, I have an ability called Fancy Footwork. If I make a melee attack against a creature, that creature can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of the turn. So I'm just going to step back here.
All right. You definitely move away. You see it doesn't even react. You move so quickly. Top of the round takes us to Nadir.
All right. So, quick question in terms of the sneak attack for Ringo. If he's within 15 feet of me, but 5 feet of the enemy, does he still get the advantage? Or do I have to be within 5 feet to grant him advantage?
It's as long as they're within, as long as somebody on my side is within 5 feet of the enemy. I also.
What if they're in my? What if they're my reach?
It says very specifically within 5 feet of it.
And your swashbuckler changes
not within reach. Yeah.
Yeah, your swashbuckler changes it for you and you alone.
All right, so I'm gonna hit the same one from before. That's the one below me, I believe.
Yes.
All right. Don't you have a whale to cling to or something? Because they're barnacles, and I miss. And I'll use my haven't used my bonus action, so I'll use my bonus action to do the and miss. God damn it! I am just last couple days.
I need to turn off the miss feature.
Yeah. Takes us to Fjord. You see Nadir helplessly flailing after landing a good first strike.
I was going to go after that same one as before. 10 piercing on that one.
Does not hit. It bounces off of this
17.
plate armor. Yeah, they're wearing plate armor. I mean, they are plate armor.
Oh, I rolled a 19 last time. Okay. That's it.
Dead shot.
I am going to disengage. Here, and that is the end of my turn.
All right. Rascal.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna open up on this guy again and hopefully hit him this time. Bonus action. Damn.
Nope.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay. The armor will slam into Rascal twice.
One of those hits.
Yep. So that is 5 bludgeoning damage. These two surrounding you are going to come after you, Ian. This is the one above.
That's a hit.
17. So that is 6 bludgeoning damage.
That's a hit.
That is 5 more bludgeoning damage. Now the one beneath.
Oh,
Another
God.
5 bludgeoning. And another 4 bludgeoning.
How many hit points do you have left?
8.
Okay, yeah, that's bad.
Ringo.
Ringo's going to step forward and just
Join the
sort
mosh
of
pit.
join the mosh pit, and I'm going to hit him for no. I'm going to run this one down here through.
Yes, you come up from the back and stab up through this armor. I mean, pieces of it fall away, but it is still on its feet.
Huh. And yeah, I guess Ringo will stay there.
All right. Nadir. The
All
one
right.
beneath you is very badly injured. The one above you has not been hurt.
All right. So I'm just checking. All right. So bonus action. I'm going to use second wind because we don't have a healer with us, do we?
Nope.
I have
No.
cure
I can
wounds.
technically heal 3.
And I should have mentioned this. This is season 9. You all, as it's tier 1, start with a potion of healing and inspiration.
Oh,
Well, I probably should use that because I only got a 2 plus my 6. Yeah. And I'm going to attack the one that's really hurt. And hit
That hits.
for 4. And I'm going to hit him again with the. Oh no, I
It's got
used my bonus action, so I can't do that.
You can't. He has 1 hit point remaining. So, yeah, you smack him, and he is staggered, and you can see it's just barely holding together. So, Fjord, this one is really badly damaged. That one has not been hit. This one is moderately hurt.
Free action. I'll shout at Deadshot to take out that one. And I'm going to focus my 2 attacks on the other 2. So the first one is going to go for the one on top of Rascal.
Okay.
Miss.
Just
But I'm
misses.
action surge, and I'm going to go after the one above Nadir. Ah! That's it.
Okay.
I was
Dead
trying
shot.
to make a dent in the other ones.
So
All
many
right.
17s.
You know what I'm about to do?
Do we?
That is more than enough to take down this one. The armor just collapses and rattles to the ground.
All right, I will switch my hunter's mark to the next most injured looking one. And that is the end of my turn.
That
I
would
got
be
one
mine.
job.
Rascal.
All right. So first, we try and hit with the spear. Finally.
Yes.
And then we're going to do spend a key point to do 2 unarmed strikes using my flurry of blows. Arg!
Neither of which connect. You strike, but you're just hitting shells and knocking them off the armor rather than actually connecting.
Yeah, that's my turn. At least I dealt 7 damage.
Yeah. Okay, so Rascal, this guy's going to try and slam into you twice. 13 does not hit. 18 does. That is another 5 bludgeoning.
Just half my hit
And
points.
the one on top of Nadir is going to keep going. Hits you for another 5. And then misses. Takes us to Ringo.
Guess he just got tired of getting hits and decided to dodge. Yes. I completely whiff it, and then I back away.
All right. Nadir. This guy is undamaged.
All right. Well, we are going to. Shit, I can't remember. Do I have to declare a maneuver before, or can I do it?
Depends on the maneuver. Some of them you declare if you miss because you can add your die to see if it hits. Some of them you
When
say
I hit
if
a
you hit.
creature. So,
Yep, so there you go.
I'm going to use my inspiration. That's reroll, right?
Yes. Just hits. This armor was looking pretty smug, and then you smack it.
All right. So, first the damage. Then the superiority dice. Oh, it won't let me actually just roll. Oh, there it is. How come it's not rolling? Oh, there we go. Nice. So he takes 14 damage and has to give me a saving throw or be tripped.
All right. What kind of saving throw?
It says a strength saving throw, but I don't know what the DC is.
Doesn't matter. They rolled a 9. He is prone. Clang just crashes and clatters down to the ground.
All right. Oh, and I still have my bonus action. So I
So-
will use my halberd butt and hit
With
him
advantage because he's prone.
with advantage, right? And I will hit him in the crotch. Very nice.
You hit.
For 3 more damage.
You have taken away half.
What was that, Lauren?
You add your strength to that.
Oh, shoot, I do. So 6 damage. Sorry for that.
All right. You have taken this creature to under half health in one swift flurry. Sophia, this guy is now prone on the ground, so disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is still standing.
I'm going to focus on that one. The one in front of Rascal. Frack. That's it for me.
Okay. Dead shot.
Gonna shoot it.
Does not hit.
Arr!
Rascal, there's arrows flying around you.
All right. Well, first we're gonna spear him. No, we're not. Damn. Hell, we'll use key point and unarmed strike. Seriously, like, would it kill roll at least a 13? A 13. Like, I'd be okay if I just had a 17 on one of these.
It might kill
Okay,
you.
that's my turn.
Yeah, hits you for 5 bludgeoning damage. And then misses. The one is going to stand up next to you, Ian, and then slam at you twice. 14 and 11. Don't think either one of those hit.
Nope.
Takes us to Ringo.
Ringo's gonna step on in, clatter across the barnacles, frown, back off to here, and then enter dodge as a bonus action. Oh wait, no,
All right.
it's only dash, disengage, and hide, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Ringo will stand over here.
Nadir.
Ah, damn! I was gonna get you to do a sneak attack there. Can't.
Yeah, you
If you
probably
could-
should've
if
went
you
for
could
the one
move
that was
5
still
more.
prone.
I'm sorry.
You probably was prone.
Yeah, but his
Yeah.
roll still would have missed. 13 and 11.
All right, so he's not close, so I can't commander strike him to sneak attack. So we'll just smash this guy. Oh wait, guess he
Oh,
is.
no.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
he is. Yeah.
So I am going to let me read this. Yeah, something weird just happened with my character sheet.
I believe I think it's a bonus action to command someone else to make an attack using their reaction.
It is. So I had like control clicked, and then I hit mouse wheel, and my screen just went to shit. I'm just trying to figure it out now. It uses their reaction. Oh, here we go. You take an attack action. On your turn, you can forego one of your attacks and use a bonus action to direct one of your companions to strike. When you do so, you choose a friendly companion you can see or hear, expend 1 superiority dice. That creature can immediately use the reaction to make 1 weapon attack and add the superiority dice. Oh,
Yes.
Ringo, finish it off.
All right, if you insist, sir. Not sure you want. I know what you want me to do with the pointy end, but okay. Damn.
Yeah. Even with a superiority die, you cannot hit.
Oh, the superiority die only goes to damage, not to hit.
Oh well, if I
Ah.
had hit, he would be just scrap metal. But fuck, sorry. I'm
Theo?
Worth
trying.
a try.
Try this again on the one in front of Rascal. Damn it.
Keep shooting.
That's it.
Dead shot.
I'm a shooting.
Just need to roll an 11 and I can hit them.
God, not another 14!
Rascal.
Okay, how injured looking is this one?
Fairly injured looking. They both look about the same at this point. They're about a third of their original health.
We'll start with the spear. Yes.
Gets him. Yep. Very badly damaged.
Do I go for 2? No, I'm just gonna do 1. I'm gonna retry that.
Okay.
Damn it. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
the armor.
alright. Yeah.
Hey, critical miss and a 9. And one is going to swing at you, Ringo. That is a 17 to hit for 6 bludgeoning damage. Last one at Nadir. A 19 to hit for another 5 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
Takes us to Ringo.
I'm going to use my action to aid another, and I'm going to aid my good friend whose name is not actually in the list, so I keep forgetting it, to hit this thing.
Oh, I should change that. Yeah.
Nadir.
Nadir. So I attempt to I attempt to like kick at its feet to distract it.
All right. That takes us to Nadir.
All right. So I have advantage on this.
Yep, Ringo has kicked it in the feet and tapped it on the left shoulder, so it turns to one side.
Look over there.
15 does not hit.
And bonus action, I'll try and at least do the d4 damage. I don't think I still have advantage, right? It's just for the one attack.
Yeah, it's just the first attack, the next attack. So,
And,
Theode.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey!
Thank God.
Okay, so no point in doing the grasping arrow on it.
You guys are picking us apart.
This is the one on Rascal.
Yep, that is enough. It goes smashing and clattering to the ground.
Fine, a frackly. All right, that's it.
All right, Deadshot. There is one left. I assume you move your hunter's mark.
Of course.
Does not hit.
Ah!
Rascal.
All right, we're gonna try this. So I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna point a finger and Frieza Death Beam style.
Why weren't you doing this before?
That hit.
Because I didn't realize you were a swashbuckler, and then once I was in melee, I didn't want to have to disengage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for my turn because I have to spend. I think I have to spend a key point in order to be able to do it as a bonus action as well. Let me just double check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
All right, this is going to slam into Nadir. Oh, I want it. Last one, 15. Does that
not
hit?
No.
Does not hit. All right, Ringo.
Tap it on the shoulder
It
again,
has.
and then I was gonna tap it on the shoulder.
It's ready for you this time.
Damn it.
Nadir.
All right, let's try and finish it off.
Come on, Neville, do it.
Oh, thank
Hey!
There you go.
Yeah,
Is that
you
enough?
come.
Because I can do this one too.
That is more than enough.
Yeah, the deer has.
You get it
has
on the
had
way
enough.
down. Yeah, you slash through it, and then as it's collapsing down, you smash it again, and the helmet just goes rolling across the floor.
It's
And
dead.
you guys are out of combat.
Ringo pulls out a hip flask and says, let's take a breather, shall we?
Good, I thought you didn't have that.
Time.
Well, I didn't want to share. It's not like we're in any sort of rush.
Yeah,
As far as-
those are the cult's dead. The people are missing, and those seem like automated defenses. So, break time.
So it's break time.
That was a surprisingly rough encounter for some of you guys.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yes.
All right, I'm good to go. Although it is 10, are we finishing up tonight?
There are literally 2 rooms left.
All right, let's finish this.
All right, forward.
Yep, same as before. I'll be tapping ahead.
I'll be keeping pace with you.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
All right.
Oh,
And eventually you find yourself staring into a sinkhole as you find yourself in this 40-foot diameter circular room. And you can see that, the water here fills up the lower level of this giant sinkhole. And I mean, there's so much sediment and dark that your light sort of can't penetrate the water. And you see the sides here are gently sloped, but covered in a thick coat of slick algae. The only other feature you see is a narrow hole near the top left wall and a door of beaten brass on the far side. From here, you can see a smear of dried blood upon the handle.
Ooh.
We need to get that door.
How are we going to get to that door over this?
I can
How
fly.
deep is this pit?
I can fly.
He can fly.
Can you
he
fly
can
all of
he
us
can
over?
fly.
No, but we could anchor a rope on this end and anchor a rope on that end, or multiple ropes, and use that as a makeshift rope bridge.
Yeah, let's do that.
I do believe that we've been in this situation before, and actually, no, sorry, that was Lohi. But he will come to the same conclusion. Yes, it is time to anchor pitons along the wall. So yes, let's rope our way around. I don't want to enter that water. That water is nasty.
Cool. So I pop my radiant soul wings. I fly. I will spend the time. I assume I have at least a minute in order to secure a few lines across. And then,
Yes, easily enough. This is solid rock. You are able to secure them and fly back across the sinkhole.
cool.
Aarakocra, not AL legal because they have wings. Sun Soul monks, AL legal.
Asimar at level 3 get the ability to pop it once per day.
See, there you go. Asimar.
Level 5, it's permanent.
Nice.
All right, so you guys have ropes that you can use to guide your way across. I am going to say you guys are easily able to do.
Excellent, and we
Door
avoid
open.
the tentacle monster in the pond, I assume.
Oh no, the pond is empty.
Oh.
The door is stuck on the other side, but it is a simple athletics check of 10 to get through it. So I'm just going to have you guys get through it.
There. I secured the ropes, kicked open the door, and flew through.
Tappa, tappa,
And
tappa.
as you continue on, the ground again starts descending and moving. You can see as you guys crossed it, there's actually more sort of smears of blood that are heading down into whatever that pool is. But once you're across, you see, footprints continue on straight ahead. It continues in this circular descending direction.
Yep, we're going down same order.
Yeah, eventually, as you come to the right, you see that there are a pair of old cells that look like they might have been prison cells, but are now empty. And holes in the doors and walls suggest they could have probably been bolted from the outside where you guys are.
Check them really quick. Or can we already see inside and they're already empty?
Yeah, you can see inside they are empty.
Okay, move on.
All right. I suspect that Maribel Brown is completely lost behind us here and is
It's
not
'cause
at all
Steph
good.
doesn't pay
I know
attention.
what
I got her.
My allergies are just.
All right, you find yourselves staring into a rounded room, about 60 feet in diameter, a vaulted ceiling about 30 feet tall in the center. The majority of this room is a couple of feet higher than the side you entered from and accessed by a pair of steps. At the far side of the room, you see a large idol carved from a single piece of pale green stone standing in a pool of black water. It is carved in the shape of a tentacle humanoid with the head of a many-fanged fish and bathes the room in a sickly green light.
One
We
of
see
the
anybody.
demonic cults, I assume.
I'm just
Fiode sees a body, and she'll relay as much.
Yes, as the light gently sort of bathes this room, you see across what appears to be an altar or table of some sort, a body and blood streaming down these steps.
Well, let's quietly go in. I'm gonna stealth it.
Is it all just still sort of humanoids leading down in here, or do I see evidence of other animals or something like that?
Just humanoid footprints still at this point.
There's the corner. There's something around this corner. Let's take a look over there.
See
Nothing
another
stopped
body.
yet, right?
I'm not sure that that thing could be called the Just One or the Great One.
Well, isn't this the cult's place? So it's that weird fish monster symbol that he was talking about.
Oh, the thing with the head of tentacles.
It looks just like a dead end over here.
And you can see as you get closer, Ringo, these stairs are slick and covered with mud. There's a couple of pillars on either side of the stairs, and they're very worn, but it looks like they were presumably beautifully carved. And you see this body of a human male slumped over the altar, and something that appears to be a wand is on the floor next to his hand. And then there's this pool of dark blood that is pooled and dried on the altar after running down the sides and front. And on either side of the pool, you see piles of calcified skeletons and a second corpse partially submerged in the pool.
Is that blood fresh?
It is dried.
Is this a door behind us up here in the top up north?
Yes.
Oh, here.
All right, give us a second. And I'm gonna sort of lean in, and I'm assuming that this is Egan Sokol here. Does he look like he's dressed in nice nobles robes, nice nobles clothes?
At one point, yes, you would think they were fairly nice.
How long have they've been down here? What, a few weeks now?
Couple of days.
Days, okay.
I'll check this body.
Yeah, see if he's got black fist markings on him.
All right. As you look at this body, you can see that there are arrows sticking out of it, the sort of feathers and the hafts sort of out of the back. And as you reach down to investigate the body, the head turns and snaps and hisses at you. And I need you to roll initiative. You see the water start to roil and boil, and skeletal hands start to reach out, and then heads and shoulders come out of the water as well.
Of course it is.
Then knees and toes.
Absolutely.
Heads and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the head bone is connected to the neck bone, and then the neck bone is connected to the shoulder bone.
And apparently that scared me so much that I'm out of my bone. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
And the red thing is connected to my wristwatch.
Uh-oh.
First up is Deadshot.
Is a 15 hit?
Who are you attacking?
I'm attacking one of the skeletons, and I will put my hunter's mark on them as well. I will transfer my hunter's mark on them as well, because it's been less than an hour.
Yes,
Took a
a
long
15
rest.
does hit. Yeah, you guys took a long rest. So you'd have to cast it again.
We took a long rest. Okay, never mind.
No, short rest.
Oh, okay, never mind. I will
Sorry,
cast
yeah.
again. So Hunter's Mark on that one. Does it kill him?
Oh yeah, that definitely does.
All right. That's the end of my turn. Oh, I will quickly look behind me. Do I see anything coming from behind us?
Give me a perception check.
Well,
I don't see anything,
Yeah, you don't see anything coming.
which is the worst possible way of putting that.
yeah. Oh, we done diddly dead.
All right, that takes us to any movement.
I'm gonna back up just a little bit, like behind here.
All right, that takes us to Fiode.
I'm going to aim for this skeleton right here behind the statue, and I will move so I can get a good beat on him. I guess I have to be down here.
Yeah,
18
that
hit?
hits. Oh yes.
Perfect. Bursting arrow for the win. So the target and all of the creatures within 10 feet of it take 2d6 force damage. So everybody takes 8. That target takes an additional 6. So that would be that guy right there that's in front of Nadir would take the 8
Okay.
force damage.
And these other two skeletons.
Yes.
All right. So all of the skeletons, this guy basically explodes as the force damage hits him. The other two get rocked, and you see parts of their bones just crack and break as they start to look pretty damaged. And the zombie in front of you, Nadir, also, you see its back arch, and you hear some of the bones crack, and the sort of pus and fluid burst forward. It is injured, but it is still alive, or unalive.
I'm gonna back up a 5, 10, 15. I did. There you go. Just back upstairs a little bit, and that's it for me.
All right. Zombie. So this guy next to you is going to slam into you, Nadir, for 2 bludgeoning damage. And the one is going to try and slam into you, Ring.
I'll say hands off, sir.
That is a 16 to hit. Its hands get everywhere for 6 bludgeoning damage.
We got to put the tiebreaker on. That's all right.
And that takes us to Ringo.
Say, sir. And then I completely miss these slow-moving zombie.
Yes, you do.
And I back off.
All right.
And then attempt to hide.
Where?
Under the blood?
Well, he does
You are
have
in
the
the middle of
armor
it.
between him and the zombie.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you're in sight of him now. You could presume if you can get to behind the pillar, you think you'd be able to hide, but otherwise, you're pretty much in open space
Yeah, it
here.
didn't really work, but no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, Rascal.
All right. So action. I'm going to go after Nadir's target. So that's 6 radiant damage to him.
Yeah, that blasts, and he is looking really badly hurt.
Yeah, and then bonus action, the other zombie. I'm like, take him out now. And then my turn.
Okay, and now the skeletons.
No more undead fortitude for them.
He will move forward that way. He'll just swing around that way. So this one is going to fire its short bow at you, Fiode. It's a 23 for 8 piercing damage. And this one is going to fire at Lauren. But that is only an 11. It does not hit.
Damn, I wish I actually had hit.
All right, that takes us to Nadir.
All right. Well, let's get this guy in front. Is he still up?
He is. All right, that takes him down as you smash into him with the butt of your halberd. That is enough to send him down and keep him.
And how tall is this altar?
It's only about a foot and a half tall, 2 feet.
Oh, okay. Then I will move over here and get in the face of this so it doesn't eat our rogue.
All right, and as this happens, coming down the hallway behind you, you can see this black water dripping off of them are a couple of ghouls with their long claws just slowing into the room after you guys.
Skeletons and ghouls look like have Black Fist uniforms on.
No.
That's interesting.
Is it more undead?
Zombies. One of the zombies clearly does.
Hmm.
I think.
Yes. So, Deadshot, it is your turn as a couple of new creatures enter the room.
Kill the zombie now. Leave the ghouls for later.
I am going to kill the transfer my hunter's mark to the most damaged zombie and to hit at it with my bow. Of course, I rolled a 10.
A 10 hits.
Ah, ha, ha, ha!
So that is 9 damage. So yeah, your arrow strikes and like there's this gross putrid liquid that
Plus Hunter's
sprays
Mark.
out of it.
And hunter's mark adds an additional 2.
Yep, it is
No,
still
you can
standing.
add Hunter's Mark as a damage thing as opposed to another attack roll.
Yeah, it's okay.
Any movement?
No. I am far on the other side, and that's fine by me.
All right, Fjord.
How bad is that last zombie looking?
Pretty badly hurt. Not on death's door, but definitely it is spewing ichor and other fluids.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna aim for him then. No bursting arrow this time. 7 piercing. Still up?
Nope, that is just what you need to kill.
Where
So,
are
yeah,
these
you're-
ghouls? Do I see these ghouls? I do.
They are
So-
right at the entryway.
Action surge on the ghoul there. Well, that one, the top one.
Ghouls, high-end ghouls.
Yep. No. Damn, I was gonna bursting arrow those guys.
Have you used your inspiration yet?
No, I have not.
Hide ghouls.
15 hit?
15 does hit.
All right, bursting arrow then.
Good call, Lorne. Oh my god!
So 21 on the one I hit, and the other one just takes 10. And I hit the top one.
Just takes 10.
And seriously, they were just looking for the piano. Glenn Gould's.
Then I'm just going to back away, and that's it for me.
All right, they are both still standing, but this one up top is right damaged. It is barely alive.
Hee hee.
That takes us to Ringo.
Uh,
So
if
there is a
you're-
one at your feet and a dead zombie.
I will snatch up the one at my feet. I'm assuming interact with action is a free interact with objects is a free action.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't leave treasure behind. I'm just reading through what Rakish Audacity does here. I'm within 5 feet of it. No other creatures are within 5 feet of me. Can I stand in this space here?
Yes, the steps are muddy and slick, but you can stand there.
Like, can I stand there? That's
Oh,
what
yeah. Right up against the wall,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so I am going to, from that space there, it's 10, 20, 30. So I'm going to use my bonus action to dash to there. I'm going to step 10 feet forward to there. And with a lovely flourish and a 22, hit him for 9 damage.
That is enough to take away the single hit point he had left.
Excellent. And then I'm going to move 20 feet back.
Okay. The zombies are dead. Now it is the ghouls. This guy is going to come racing up to you, Ringo,
I figured as much.
and going to slash at you with its claws.
He's a daisy if he does.
That is a 15 to hit.
Damn.
And give me a Constitution saving throw, please. You take 7 slashing damage, and you feel your muscles start to lock up. And you are paralyzed. Rascal.
All right, I'm gonna try and save the day. So run 20 feet up. I'm gonna do that whole cool behind the head spear strike, two-handed,
Hits.
and then key point make 2 unarmed strikes. Oh, yes.
Absolutely, yeah. So you stab, slamming in over your shoulder, and then spin around and just your hand and come around, cracking the side of this head, which breaks, and this creature slumps down to the ground.
And then I take a ready. Actually, I still have 20 feet of movement. So I'm going to move 15 feet here to sort of gain the attention of these skeletons a bit more.
All right, and give me a dexterity save as you move through these steps, as they are slick with mud on this side. You're fine.
I cartwheel over them.
The skeleton, this guy will fire his short bow at you.
I actually, yes, he hits. Wait a second. I use
Yep.
my deflect missiles. I get near max. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm gonna spend a key point to chuck it back at him.
All right. And hits. Yeah, you grab this arrow out of the air, and in one fluid motion, just turn it around, whip it under your leg back at him for 4 piercing damage. He is barely standing. Now this guy is going to fire his short bow at you as well. Another 22 for 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
Those are 2 very good rolls for skeletons.
Yeah, they are.
Nadir.
All right, I'm gonna hit the one closest to me.
Oh yeah, he's within your reach. 12 does not hit.
Wow. All right,
Uh,
and
Wait. Oh no, it's a 13 because he's using his bow.
but he does take 7 from the back end.
No, he takes.
He does.
15.
Oh yeah, it's bludgeoning. Yeah, that is way more hit points than he had left anyway. So yeah, so he goes clattering to the ground.
And I will, move over here so he can't. So he has disadvantage if he shoots.
All right.
We all go before him.
Yeah, dead shot.
Okay.
Let's see if you can. He's got 1 hit point left. Who's going to get the kill?
I can do it! I can do it!
He did it.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah!
you can. Your arrow flies straight and true and blasts the skeleton into about a half a dozen pieces.
Thank you kindly.
With that, you guys are out of combat. You guys whipped these guys way easier than that animated armor.
God damn it, that armor.
Yeah.
I hadn't missed for 2 whole rounds, everything.
Well, the fact that none of us could get like over an 8 was like
18.
really killing. It's like, come on, just something over a 10. Something over a 10.
I got him the one time and then no other time after that.
Yeah. So with that, you guys are out of combat. The room is quiet. You can easily see, Rascal, that there is a knife sticking in the back of this zombie that was laid over the altar and is now sort of slumped down to the ground. That was at one point young Master Sokol. You can tell by his finer clothing.
So the zombie has a knife in its back.
Yes.
And as
I'm
Ringo
gonna
sort
take
of
the knife because I assume it's an heirloom that needs to be returned.
Yeah, you
Ringo-
see no signs of a struggle, as you know, there's no big skid marks in the mud or anything like that.
See, not all sacrifices are unwanted.
and Ringo sort of steps up and, still slurring his speech. You know, he's been drunker than this, but this still isn't pleasant. He's like, I beg to differ, sir. I suggest that particular sacrifice was very unwilling. And I look over to the other zombie. The other zombie, I'm assuming, is wearing Black Fist clothes.
Yes,
Does he have his knife in his knife pouch?
he does.
He does have his knife in his knife pouch.
Hmm.
How did this one die originally? How did Sergeant Grimm die originally? I'm assuming that's Sergeant Grimm. Does he look older?
He does not. It looks like a younger person just wearing standard black sort of leathers. He is peppered full of arrows.
I'm guessing it's these fine folks we just smashed to bits there. Did you say there was a door up in that direction up there?
There is a heavy stone door up at the far side of the room.
All right. I'm going to take this opportunity to give myself some healing.
I'll check the floor in front of the door with my halberd.
It is solid, and as you are sort of scraping and poking with that, you can hear voices behind the door, just sort of, who goes there?
I'm not answering. What are we gonna say? Cursed Temple Pizza?
Are we gonna? That's Cursed Earth Pizza. That reference. Are we
I
gonna
know.
claim?
Orgo's Pizza?
It's a Judge Dredd reference.
Yes. Are we gonna claim to be the law here?
Why don't we just use the password we were given?
We already used the password we have given. These people are trying to steal the treasure, and they stabbed young Master Sokol in the back. That knife that was in Egon's back. That's the same model of knife as the one that was in the Black Fist belt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, let's go through then. Tell them what's what.
Yeah, I say we'll just go through.
All right. I'm gonna look intimidating as I come through the door. Yeah.
As you try and push on the door, you can feel that other people are sort of pushing it on the far side, and you hear, they're not answering, it's the undead. Hold the door. Hold it.
We're not undead,
Just open the
stupid.
door.
And you hear, oh, thank Pelor. And they let the door open, and past it, you see a couple of bedraggled folk, one who is clearly wearing sort of splint mail and in charge, and then another person in just sort of general Black Fist armor. And as you make your way into this room, you can see it's about 30 feet across approximately, and there are numerous niches about a foot or so across that are carved into the wall in staggered rows. Most of them, as you put your torch up across it, have trinkets of gold or colored glass or stone in them. Some of them are still empty, and the walls are decorated with a faded wall painting of blues, greens, and blacks. And you see a couple of burlap sacks on the ground are full of objects similar to the trinkets in the niches.
Now, what are you chaps up to? Little light grave robbing this evening?
And he will say, I'm Sergeant Grimm. My men and I were down here assisting the Sokol family chap as he found this treasure, but the undead came to life and killed him in the room, and we were barricaded in here. We've been down here for 2 days just drinking water. We're so, thank Pelor somebody's come
I'll
down.
hand him my
And-
water skin.
And Ringo's gonna drop his knife in front of him, and he's gonna say, "You dropped your knife, Sergeant Grimm."
Yeah, he turned into a zombie. Whoever was in that room, that idol
Now-
green, and he turned him into an undead. We had to kill him before we could hide in here. I had to kill one of my own men too. All right, give me an insight check.
Hi.
I'll roll insight.
Ringo, he could be telling the truth. He's a bit of a fast talker. Nadir, yeah, he's lying. Stephanie, you think he's lying too, but Nadir, you're certain he's talking too fast and making things up as he goes.
Hi up the gentleman, please. I will say to my party members.
I think he is a lying liar who lies.
You're in no condition to fight.
And you can
You're
look. No,
coming.
they are sort of tired, and they say, "But we only killed him in self-defense. We did what we could."
Self-defense,
said
and then
before.
you're gonna take your share of the treasure. Is that the sort of assault we're talking about?
Let's take them up and we'll figure it out up there, but they're definitely lying.
Yoda will draw her bow and aim it on Grim.
Ringo
He
will just
will
tap
look at them and he will say, "Now we're the law in this town. What do you intend? You going to kill us down here in the dark?"
I have no intention of killing you unless you make hostile actions towards any of my friends. As long as you keep your hands where I can see them, we'll have no trouble.
And Ringo's just gonna kind of tap his fingers against the hilt of his rapier in his scabbard, and he's just gonna say, I think this here blade is gonna be all the evidence I'm gonna need to get you convicted. I know people in town as well."
And as you say that, you see the rest of the men sort of nod and just say, "What you said is true. We did it. We're sorry." And they all sort of put their hands out and allow them to be tied. And as this happens, just in sort of the back, you see the slightest movement and figure of a young woman appears in your torchlight just for a second, Ringo, and you see this ghostly image sort of smile and nod.
And Ringo's gonna sort of look back a little bit puzzled at that, because he's not entirely sure what he's seeing here.
It seems to be the same sort of shape you caught out of the corner of your eye in the lighthouse itself.
I think we gotta keep the god's treasure down here in order for the light to work.
Yes, good sir. I have to wonder about all the commotion that happened upstairs as soon as you boys took this here treasure off the walls. That coincides pretty well now, doesn't it?
And they have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah, the timeline makes sense. And with that, you guys are able to arrest them. You take them back to Flan for trial. The evidence against Guard Sergeant Grimm that you present with the knife is sufficient to convict him of Egan's murder, and he dangles from the Stojnow gate the following day. The other soldiers are each convicted of lesser crimes and imprisoned. And as Grimm's body does its final sort of dance on this. The light in the lighthouse starts up again, and whatever spirit was angered seems satisfied with his death. And the lighthouse burns brightly going forward. And that is where this ends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, guys, there are different things happen depending if you release the guards, kill them, or arrest them.
I'm guessing if we
Oh.
release the guards, then all of Flan is doomed.
Well, the lighthouse never relights.
No!
So, tier 1 for 3 hours, you guys each gain 60 gold. The wand that you found, everybody gets a wand of magic detection.
Nice.
To have found 5 of them.
And this silver-tipped wooden wand makes a loud chiming sound when used.
Ooh, pretty.
And you guys did not kill anybody during the barroom brawl, so you don't gain the story award. The other thing you can claim is...
Oh, I can go
there's a
back
story
and
award.
murder.
Yeah, no, you don't want this story award. The Enmity of the Black Fist.
It's a bad one.
Yeah. And the other item you can get from this, I'm not sure how this still works. There's the Book of Moonsea Cults that you can keep, which if you do any more season 1 adventures can come into play. And you may claim the splint armor of Grimm.
Ooh, cool.
So one character may keep it, or the party may sell it for 100 gold, which you can't do.
Actually, you can't. Instead, you have to pay for the price of it.
Yeah, so you can buy his splint mail.
Common item.
Yeah.
You can buy his splint mail.
It's just named armor. It's nothing special.
Nothing special.
It's black.
Mail and then sell it for 100 gold.
No, it's a common item. Yeah, so you get the Wand of Magic Detection, 60 gold pieces. You have the choice to level up, and then you will get your downtime days.
Nice. I will, in fact, level up. Because I need more decks.
So that is going to be... Yeah, so 60 gold.
All right, let me...
How much downtime? 10 still?
Yep.
Yep.
It's 10 every time you level up until you get tier 2, I think, in which case it becomes 20.
Yep. And so this is...
Oops, sorry.
Stop trying to light the crystal.
Adventure code DDEX1-2.
All right, and with that, I will shut off the stream. I would like to thank Eraser TX for watching. Good luck on that paper. And we will raid Jingle the Fool stream.
Thanks for letting me try this out.
It was fun.
Secrets of Sokol Keep. Yeah, you guys had a party that was definitely not designed for investigation. And I think it'll be a little more, it's a little more interesting if, we had more time to do a little more of the search at the start.
Yeah. It like screams, I need a rogue.
We had a rogue.
I forgot to
Full
change his
rogue.
middle